What is going on, guys? It is your boy Rish coming back with another video. This video is very exciting because we partnered up with another company that you guys know of, reputable in the TSX game, and we have a lot of their parts. I have a couple of them myself. You guys didn't know already, I kind of hinted it before, but yes sir, we got the hybrid racing shifter cables. The new ones that they just came out with are performance shifter cables. This is for a 04 to 08 Acura TSX and a 03 to 07 Honda Accord. It's what we do, baby. We just do DIYs, YouTube videos, and we have a fun time. So I just want to say big shout out to Hybrid Racing, especially David, for hooking me up and sending a pair of your brand new shifter cables for me to do an install video and kind of showcase it a little bit more for the TSX crowd, because I got the platform and this is just what we do. So thank you so much, and look forward to more opportunities in the near future. I think we're gonna start with the inside, do the whole center console and the cubbies and whatnot. I'll show you guys a little bit, and yeah, we'll get to it. All right guys, so now that we are inside the car, hopefully you could hear me pretty well. First, we're gonna start off with taking out this center cubby. Move this, unclip the light from it. It just spins right out. And we got the cubby out. Then we're gonna start with removing this center console piece. It definitely is gonna get a bit tricky pulling out over here. Things get a little bit flimsy like, so you're gonna have to kind of work it. It gets a little sketchy. It kind of wants to flex and bend a bit, and if you bend it a little too much, it may end up cracking or something. It's something we don't want.
One eternity later.
So we just go over here and unclip the heater seat plugs. Get those suckers out. We got this cubby out the way. So now that we got that center piece off, we're gonna get to the cubby. There's 4 Phillips head screws that we're gonna take off so we can remove this, because we got access back there. Just get these little suckers out right quick. Try not to drop them and lose them. The guy just almost did. And we get this thing out. I'm just gonna wanna unplug this as well. Press the clip in and try not to get your change everywhere. Then we're gonna have to come in here and take all these 2 10mm nuts from the amp so that could get out the way, because we have the access down there for the bracket. Then we also gotta remove these screws so we can remove this center console. Also in here, there's the screws underneath this mat that you gotta take out. So yeah, we're gonna work on taking off this center console and getting the 2 nuts off the amp right there. 1 and 2. I'm gonna get these 2 Phillips head screws out of here. Get your little mat out of here. Get your 2 screws out of this one. So you got 2 Phillips heads with a washer. Unclip the battery charger in the aux port. So you got that unclipped, so nothing should be hooked on anymore. And just slide this puppy right out. Look at that. Just like that. Slide this over to the back seat right quick. So now that we have the center console off, you're going to want to come in there with a flathead and pry this clip up. Twist that counterclockwise and lift up. Obviously get your pin out of there and down over here. Just like that. Pop this sucker out. Put it to the side. Got my little magnet holder. Hold on my screws. Go right here. Turn it counterclockwise. Lift up. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this pin off. Popped right out. And this is just held on by the clip, so you just kind of go under here and push the clip off, and then it pops right out, just like that. Now we got all this out, and then I believe we're gonna have to go underneath the car, because there's the grommet right there, goes underneath the car. And there's brackets, 2 bolts or a bolt holding on the cables. Unattach that. Trying to get as much light as possible in here. Give you guys a good video. So yeah, you're gonna come in here and probably remove your just intake pipe or whatnot, filter, just to give you some more access. Then just gonna take off my piping right here just so I have some extra space. Please disregard my bungee cord strap. I've been meaning to buy actual bracket tie down. Just what I had to do for space issues wise with my whole intake and filter. So disregard that. I'm gonna have to take off these 2 bolts and right here on the cable, the bracket. Disconnect that. Obviously disconnect it from right here. And then we go underneath afterwards and just do it from the whole grommet area and get that bolt off from the bracket that's holding on. So yeah, let me do this first, then we'll get up underneath. Now that I got my cotter pins out, I'm gonna get my little wrench and take these 2 10 mils off this one and this one. Take those off and I'll get back to you. Sorry, I had to switch to phone view for this part because underneath the car, I just don't have enough room for my big ass camera. I went from in the top and I just grab a flathead and I push down on the grommet or like a little underneath and then down. So you could just get the rubber through and not fight it underneath. So you can see like everything is detached. It's already pushed through a bit. I'll show you guys what's going on over here. Right underneath your exhaust where this dust heat shield is, like right where your cat or test pipe is, right up there, the grommet. Don't mind some of that surface rust. Go right here and get those brackets right there. I believe now I cracked the bracket because I took that one out and that's just holding onto that bracket itself, the line. We actually have to take off the bracket itself, which is right behind there, and this is how I have it set up. I got my 3/8 ratchet with swivel and 12 mil, and this is the best area and room I could get with leverage. It took a little bit to crack it, but now we're starting to work it. So I just wanted to show you guys how I went about it. That's about it. So now that you actually have this bracket attached, so it's not this bolt, but it's the one behind next to it. It's a 12 mil. A little shitty area, but you got to make use of it. Or if you have a long wrench, that would work as well. So now that we got that loose, we'll be able to pull this thing out and let it. Just set that right there. Make our way out and fish it out. Set you guys back up on the camera. Try to pull this sucker out. Don't let this bracket get caught up too much. It's the grommet piece. It's getting stuck up there for me. Reach your arms up in there, and voila. You've got your OEM cables out, just like that. Just like that, you got your OEM cables out. Not too bad of a job. The worst part really is the little bracket underneath. Kind of tedious figuring out how you're gonna go about cracking it free the bolt. Kind of think a little bit, use some leverage, use some, long tools or whatnot, and you'll figure out. I believe we have to take off these brackets and put it on that one, so I'll be able to reattach the bracket on. So just kind of line things up, swap this over. You have to cut this off and reattach the boot. So you're gonna splice it down, have a slit so you're able to take it off and put it on the hybrid racing ones. Just match it up, look at it, whatnot, see how things are working. So I already took off this bracket. It is pretty crusty, so I'm just gonna kind of like wire wheel it down and maybe throw a little paint on it, just cause in my own head I know it ain't crusty as much anymore. So if I had a new one I would throw it on, but it's just a metal bracket, so a little bit of wire wheel and paint. And we're gonna have to come over here and do a slice, I believe right here and right here, to be able to transfer it on. Make sure it's kind of in the same area. Same with the bracket right here in the same orientation, but we'll get to that when we get to that, I got my bracket on. Pretty sure it's oriented the same way. Got the rubber piece back on. Now I just gotta fish it back through the engine bay, right past power steering rack, and yeah, go underneath and then go in there and just attach it back in. So I gotta boot my way back through, and hopefully I'll be able to get that bracket bolt back on and everything where it should be, And then that's just the dust shield making some noise. Got everything a little slotted in, initiated so far. You want to put it through the black line back there, then you just kind of pull it back and onto the back plate and the bracket, and then you get this slotted in. Hybrid supplies 4 bolts for that, and the cotter pins, which is super dope. Shout out to you, Hybrid. Let's just continue this process. I just want to give you a little tip if you run into this like struggle, because I was just kind of dealing with it. It's something minor, but this bracket that goes onto the transmission, if it kind of doesn't line up fully, like one bolt goes in, the other one just like this much off, and you can't get the threads going, you're gonna have to back it out a little bit, like take it off from the shift selector, pull the cable out a little bit, and flip this around, because your bracket's just kind of upside down. I could have maybe flipped around as you're putting the cables in or whatnot. Just easy little things, just to be weary of. All right, y'all. So now that you got it started to snake through, come in here and start getting things lined up, attached. You gotta loosen up the nut right here, then orient it towards clock properly for the ball to sit on, as you can tell. Then it just pops right in with the clip. Now I just gotta set this side up, push it back some, set it down, put the cotter pin back in, then I have to go underneath, put back on the black boot because it fell as I was, snaking all the way down. So I got that clip on for the most part, I believe. I don't think it could go any further. Seemed to work out pretty decent. Now I'm gonna get this one in and probably just tap it in with like a socket or something. I got everything back on underneath the shield and whatnot, and everything strapped down. Before you want to put everything back on, just make sure it shifts into gears and whatnot. So, as you can tell, it's shifting into gears just fine, all of them. It is like a precise and straightforward shifting. I got the whole 9 yards, the Detent Springs, the shift selector springs, the Hybrid Racing short shifter. Now they're brand new cables. So, big shout out to Hybrid Racing for this. I can't wait to go on the road and test it out. Sorry if it's a little loud and bright, but I'm about to go drop my girl off at work, so it's perfect time for her to record and just kind of give you like the shifting experience, little POV view. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for tuning in and supporting your boy. Shout out to Hybrid for sponsoring us and letting us be part of the team and working with us, Rish. So thank you so much. Of where like it positions, just to get a feel of what I kind of like. Having it this direction feels pretty good. I noticed off rip with the cables, like things just feel a little bit more direct, a little easier going, like just smoother. It just helps with the whole package. It makes everything just one big smooth shift. You're in gear. It's super direct. It's not choppy. Down into fourth. Maybe it was just the angle I was kind of trying to throw it in my positioning of my hand, but like everything just feels so much smoother now. It just feels proper, so I highly suggest you guys buy it. You could get it through Heel Toe, so use 5% off, code Rish. That'll help you guys out. I don't have a code with Hybrid Racing at the moment. Hopefully we'll work on something in the future to get more things going for you guys. Save you guys some money because you guys be supporting it, and that's what this is all about.
I never take a day off. Work around the clock, my engineer getting paid off. Rock like Ace up, like the weed and take off.